49er mind is
It's not just a thought process, but a way of life.
49er mind. 49er mind.
Can't shake it. It's 49er mind that I got. It's 49er shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A red and gold session. About a red and gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions. Let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the slot? That's how it's been in the squad. Let's call that back, call that crack, call that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the story on, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind.
49er mind.
It's not just a thought process,
49er mind,
but a way of life. For sure.
49er mind.
Way of life.
49er mind.
We are here. We're live with an edition of Bring the Heat podcast on the 49er Minded YouTube channel, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. We have Mariah from 49 Faithful Elite Podcast. How you doing?
What up? What up?
We got Ryan from No Border Sports. What's up?
What up?
You got people doing you, man. What's going on?
Yeah, got haters.
I got enemies. Got a lot of enemies.
Can't listen to them haters, man. Can't listen to them haters, man.
That's the ending song. Actually, the intro song for 49er Minded that you just heard is actually on Spotify now. So that's cool to know. And we have who do we have here? We have Red Jet. She said the intro is
on
inspiring.
iTunes.
I don't. It's not on iTunes, but it's definitely on Spotify. Maybe iTunes, whatever. Who knows? We got Don Dodson. She says, "Good evening, Niner family," and somebody by the name of welcome to the channel. If you're new, says, "Yo, what up, 49ers?" Coming by from our SF 49ers to support. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. All the newcomers can always hit the like and subscribe button. Ted's Beat says we need a safety badly, even though we have Brown. Yeah, sucks losing Hufanga. We'll get into that later. Bebop Jones is here.
Bebop.
Says bang bang now in the game. Nicola, what up, Nick? The Browns fan from the Locker Room Rant YouTube channel. Says, what's up, homies? The Browns are 7. That's crazy, man. I can't. I'm looking at that 7-3 record for the Browns. I'm like, am I seeing things? I need to get my glasses checked. What I gotta do, man? I don't know. Yeah. So how you guys feel, man? How was your week or weekend? If you guys want to talk about anything other than Niners really quick before we get started, feel free to.
Go ahead, Ryan.
We give a shout out to Red Jet Shell in the chat.
Yeah, she's here. She said, look at Mariah.
What up?
Hey, she said something really nice. Mariah, Bashar, Ryan, triple trio of exceptional minds. Thank you. I thought it said mids at first, and I was like, exceptional mids. That's funny. Got backhanded compliments. I know, right? I was gonna say, my Warriors were losing games like crazy, and the one game I really didn't watch, and I probably only I didn't know they were playing yesterday, but they played the Houston Rockets yesterday, and they were they won 121-116. I caught the last 5 minutes, and it's cool for them to finally win a game after losing so many in a row. Yeah. So I don't know if you can. You've been watching the Warriors at all, Mariah?
Off and on, yeah.
That's cool.
I can't catch every game they play too much, but
yeah. Steph Curry missed a few games. Not sure why. He had some type of minor injury. Then he finally came back yesterday. And
that probably hurts from fucking carrying that sorry ass team.
He already dropped that ball. Clay Thompson had 20 points yesterday, so it's good to see him step up and do something. We got East Coast Red and Go podcast. That is Don.
Hey, Jess.
Jess.
What up, Jess?
Just saying what's up to Don. Met Jess at the New York Giants game. Go ahead.
Can I say go Supersonics?
You're
go ahead.
Undefeated for years.
You were gonna say Seahawks
for years,
and we play them this week.
You like a Seattle team? Whoa, man, we are playing Seattle.
It's the Seattle team. Look, Sonics
all the way over across the pond. James Journal's here. There's yo. Yeah, so let's get. I watched the Niner game. Here's the thing, at home is the best to watch in my opinion because you got the comfort of your couch. You know, you can get up and go to the bathroom whenever you want. It's you can wrap up in a blanket if need be. You can eat whatever you want. But I told myself I want to check out this brand new sports bar in downtown Sacramento. keep in mind I had never been there before, and I know they got 80 TVs. The place looks really huge and nice, but I got there half an hour before kickoff thinking, okay, I'm in good hands. I'll get a spot. And I get there and it's like they're sitting people outside and there's TVs outside, but you could barely see shit with all the glare and all the sun and stuff like that. So in the beginning it was a struggle. I'll say that much. Then later we were able to see things a little better. And it's cool though. The sports bar vibe is still cool and fun, just high-fiving other Niner fans, and it's a different experience. And it was a fun game. As long as we're winning, at the end of the day, you're still always going to have fun. I don't know if you guys have ever caught any sports Niner games at sports bars, but that was my thing this Sunday. But home is the best in terms of analyzing the game, though.
I live in Washington. Like that's what I'm reduced to at certain times. Like this last game, you want to know how I watched it? On Red Zone.
Okay, there you go.
And the only reason why I was able to watch most of it is because there was only 3 games playing.
Aha, there you go. Lucky you. So we got John B in the house. He's been on some.
What's up, John?
For the Locker Room Rants.
What up, John?
Usually I talk to John. I keep in touch with him after the games or the day after the game, and we haven't talked. So I should have hit him up. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Appreciate it. And
make sure you subscribe to his channel, the Locker Room Rant.
I'll put the link
John
in the
B's
chat.
a great guy, and they got a great show over there
tonight. They're supposed to.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. They're both in here, so
I know. I think they can still do their show and be in our chat. There's no problem with that. That's physically possible. So
I've done that many times.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Your show.
And since you mentioned them, let me drop them up in the chat. So give them some love so people can subscribe to them and check them out.
Definitely.
Yes, and what Red Jet Shell says, like and sub all content creators.
Yeah, so early in the game, it wasn't really much going on, and we got off to an early lead. What was it, 10-0? If I remember what the first touchdown was, it's slipping my mind right now. I gotta go pull up the list. You guys remember what the first touchdown was?
I want to say
the short with the CMC, right?
Yeah. Yes, it was the short one to see. That was
the little dink and dunk.
That was an amazing play. So he kind of like right before the snap, he kind of jaunts out to the side like he's just gonna go and do his flat thing, you know what I mean? He's just breaking out to the flat to catch the ball. And then the moment it snaps, he cuts back and gets real small so nobody sees him. And then he cuts right through the line and is a straight shot. And then you've got 2 receivers or essentially I'm saying not necessarily wide receivers, but 2 people, like I think it was Kittle and somebody else. They're in the middle there to where the linebacker can't get enough depth to get the right angle at the time. So he's got to bucket it a little bit, which just makes him late. He can never get, it was like math. Essentially, it was a mathematical equation that they were going to win that. It was fucking awesome. When I saw that on the replay, I was like, oh shit, that's nice.
Yeah, and it was cool. I noticed that too, though. He like literally, I guess he acted like he was going to stay in the backfield, and he literally ran in between the guard and the center to run his route, and there was literally nobody there to cover him, so it was really cool.
Well, it was kind of like a rub, almost like because there's all that shit going on right where the linebackers are, and he makes that little step because it gets the guy off position and out of position. You know what I mean? Like off balance and out of position because he's moving to the one side, and then he cuts, and then the guy's like, "Wait, where is he at?" There's a delay, and he realizes, "Oh fuck, I'm screwed." Butt naked out here, and then he's got to get back over. So it's.
And no matter what, I mean, CMC's always going to find his way in the end zone. I know he didn't get the record. I know, but I'm more worried about what the team necessarily does more so than players and their personal records. And sure, it's fun at the end of the day to get those personal records, but I'm not tripping off them too hard. Let me say what's up to David Yang. Says, "What's up, fam? Good to see you, bro." Says
Hey,
Kyle was in his bag Sunday. I think so too. Ryan Real Teal says, "Let's effing go, boys. Welcome to the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button." I usually say that if it's a name I don't recognize. For the most part, I recognize people if they've been here 2 or 3 times, and like to shout everybody out. Nicholas Akalatis from the Locker Room Rant says, "I have said it time and time again. Hufanga, listen, where you got Jimin and the price tag, he's a steal, but he's only an above average starter." And you hating on Hufanga, man. I'm gonna take this comment off. Hufanga's my guy, man. I say he's only above average. Hufanga played like an all-pro last year. Not necessarily all-pro level this year. I do agree with some of that. I'm a big Hufanga guy, though. I'm pretty pissed off that he got an ACL tear, and
Yeah,
out for the season. What do you guys think?
I think this might have implications when in the off season. Jason Hurley said that we got enough money to sign Brandon Ayuk and Hufanga to contracts. Okay. So now Chase Young gets traded to the team. Hufanga now gets injured. Chase Young has a chance to play his ass off and essentially push Hufanga out, I believe, at this point in time. Because how are you gonna say I need to stick with Hufanga if you can only get one of them? If you can only get Hufanga or Chase Young, how do you stick with Hufanga when you say, yes, I got one really good year out of him as far as production, but Chase Young as the other bookend opposite of Bosa is almost like it's kind of like a perfect storm to be able to have both of those guys here on one team at the same time. Not only do they have immense talent, but they're really good friends, and the friendly rivalry between them is almost worth its weight in gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, to have those two top tier athletes just love like getting one up on the other one throughout the game over and over again, just that's a recipe for success. So I think this might cause some things, because if Hufanga was healthy and he played with his hair on fire the rest of the year and just was, playing lights out, doing all stuff like he was last year, they would have a really big dilemma in,
Right.
a really big decision to make there. But I think him getting injured kind of makes it easier for them to maybe part ways from Hufanga and go with Chase, depending on how Chase plays.
Even more so depending on how Jair Brown plays. If he comes in and plays lights out and there's no drop off or little to no drop off, I can definitely
and I
see
love
that.
Hufanga and his story.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I love all that. This is what I see happening.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. And ACL tear is never, ever good for any player. And we'll see how he looks when he comes back. And who knows who we're going to keep, who we're going to trade. And I already hear people trade. Oh, they got to trade Ayuk. I've been hearing trade Ayuk for the past 3 or 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've been hearing that for the last 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Real Teal says, you said it right. Been tuning in for the last 2 weeks after I discovery. Appreciate you, bro.Een a diehard Niner fan since I was born. Okay, look at you. But David Yang says some of Huff's greatest abilities is blitzing and playing as that third linebacker. Pretty much, he's a box safety, you could say. This year, Wilkes really hasn't used Huff in those manners. Right. You're right; they did it not so much. I totally agree.
I think they've been utilizing Oliver in that sense. Which
Oliver was in on some blitzes this past game. I saw him.
Well, like, to me, why would you go, oh yeah, let's go with this Oliver guy because he's better than this all pro over here? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what Wilkes has got for Oliver. I don't know. Like, is it his illegitimate son?
The best out there.
Yeah, Wilkes is guy for whatever reason. So we're talking about the first quarter touchdown. That was the one the CMC. Soon after in the game, they made a Baker Mayfield fumble. It was a Bosa was on pursuit, and Fred Warner knocked the ball loose. And Fred Warner, man, all throughout the game, he was just all over the field. All pro Fred.
He has a knack for turnovers. He has a real knack for turnovers.
He's a fucking stud.
Yes, he sure
and
is.
Even more so that it was his birthday. I love that, he had a great game.
I totally forgot it was his birthday. Great point. Brian Cope is here. Subscribe to his channel.
Up,
smash the like button. And James Derdon with it. He says BA is Brock's go-to guy. I've always been big on Ayuk. My friend Joey was telling me about Brandon Ayuk about months before we drafted him. Said we should get this guy. He kind of reminds me of Debo. Blah blah blah. So we got him, and I've been a fan of Ayuk ever since. And hopefully find a way to keep that guy. John V says they will keep him here. He's going to be cheaper now. He's talking about Hufanga. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, probably. We'll see. It could work out in the Niners' favor. But like, hey, buddy, you did get hurt, so maybe we could keep you on board for a little less there. So who knows how that plays out. Later in the first half, the Niners did make a field goal. Jake Moody made a field goal. So I guess some fans are becoming a bit more easy with with Moody kicking field goals. Are you guys getting less nervous when he's going out there?
He doesn't look fucking
really
confident.
What's that?
To me, he doesn't look confident when he's out there. Like I'm not like it's not like I'm not confident in him, but when I look at his face, I'm like, you don't believe you're gonna make this, do you? I don't know. That gives me like less faith, but I don't know. I want him to look like I got this bitch. You know what I mean? Like this is mine.
Yeah. I think I like Moody a whole lot more when they don't show his face. When they show his face, he falls out of favor with me.
I've never really, like, I haven't ever been nervous, but I agree. Like, something about the way he looks, like, I don't know, he always looks like scared or like he's gonna cry, or like, I don't know if they just zoom in on him at like the worst times, like right after he misses, or like, I don't know, but yeah, I agree. He doesn't look like he's confident in himself whatsoever. Hopefully, as the season goes and, you know, he keeps making kicks, hopefully that changes. I mean, he's had a rough, you know, start to his career as a pro. So, I mean, you can't just expect the guy who's just going to, you know, gleam of freaking confidence.
Maybe he should think about, he should look, the look on his face should be like he's touching boobies for the first time. You know what I mean? Come on, Jake. You're about,
Maybe
you know what I'm
never
saying?
touched boobies yet.
Well, he looks like he's scared
Maybe
to touch
he doesn't
them.
like boobies.
He looks like he's scared to touch them, is what he looks like whenever they show his face. Yeah. So before the half, the Niners did give up a touchdown to Mike Evans, who the guy's a beast. I had a feeling he was going to do a few things here and there in the game, and 1 yard pass. Ambry Thomas was on coverage. Mike Evans has got so much size on Ambry Thomas, so I'm not going to blame him too much for giving up that touchdown. But later on, Moody makes another field goal. Hey, 28-yard field goal, holla, and it's 7 to 13 at the half, Niners. So what I heard some crap. Like, I've been hearing this BS from certain people regarding Purdy, and we're gonna get into his awesome game, the stat line and all that. But the crap I've been hearing, it's like, oh, well, he only plays good if his team has a lead. It's like oh well the team was up 10-0, so of course Purdy had a good game, or so of course the Niners won. I mean they're acting like the refs are like okay, please apply 10 points for the 49ers at the start of kickoff for each game, like Brock had something to do with those 10 points going on the board, right?
Yeah,
that was my thoughts exactly. Like, well, doesn't he help like get that lead? Like, I don't understand. No matter what, they're gonna find a way to bitch. Like, you got in spaces at halftime, and you would have thought the 49ers were down 31-3. Like, that's how people were acting. Like,
really?
Like, it was crazy. Wow. Like, well, they don't have a lead, like they don't have a huge lead, so blah blah blah, like panicking, and it's just like, oh my god, like calm the fuck down.
6-point lead at halftime, I'll take it. I wasn't panicking at the half. That's funny that you say that. I wish I did. Well, I'm glad I didn't hear spaces with that. But I mean, go ahead.
We've never really been in like a balling out in the first half team. If anything, that's just been a something lately. So I don't know how you can be all of a sudden used to this treatment and thinking that everything's going to be bad when it wasn't that long ago that we knew that we were going to be down at the end of the first half, and that all our money making was in the third quarter and the little bit of the fourth. We got about a quarter and a half until Jimmy stops being useful after the first half.
Yeah. So who got Niner Fanatic Podcast is here. Good old Pete from Katy, Texas. Good to see you. Been a while since I talked to you, bro. We gotta link up. We gotta get you back on the channel one of these days.
I gotta send Pete's. He won giveaways like freaking 3 years ago, and I still haven't sent him.
Oh, there you go. Okay, let's get him his prize.
It's so he don't stop talking to me this way. He always has to have a reason to keep around, to keep in touch.
Steven Supremo says 16-19, but look weird. Not sure what he's referring to there. Shout out to Chris Osorno. I saw his chat earlier, and I forgot to mention him. He said we were talking about the Dubs earlier, the Warriors. He said the Warriors started off well, but they've been on a crap streak as of late. We need people not named Curry to step up as a number 2. Yeah, like it'd be nice if Kuminga, Klay Thompson, and Wiggins could all step up and score some down points at the Curry. That's Warriors talk, but definitely wanted to cover that since we were talking about it a little bit earlier. At the start of the half, Tampa Bay punted the ball to us. I believe they pinned us pretty damn close to the 5-yard line or something. And, 2-yard line, actually. It was a 98-yard drive. And Kittle caught a nice pass towards the left of the field. And before you know it, the guy who has no arm and a noodle arm or a weak arm launches a thing of beauty on the left sideline. The Brandon Ayuk getting covered by Jamel Dean. But Jamel Dean looked like toast and jumped up and looked really stupid. And the accuracy was there. The ball was like 35 yards in the air for air yards, for those of you who count air yards, and he doesn't throw deep enough. And just a beautiful play by Brock Purdy. And he was just balling out. Him and Ayuk were really connecting all game.
Yeah, Ayuk's been begging, deep ball me, please. And finally, his prayers have fucking been answered.
Hallelujah.
Like, only it's taken 4 years of his freaking career to finally get a deep ball,
Well,
I know.
So you want to talk about the air yards. I do want to kind of bring something up. If we had a guy who could throw 50 air yards, you know what I'm saying, or more, could we give him the time in the pocket?
No.
True. I mean,
they already said Purdy, like, his whatever, like, tops up there of pressure getting on him, and he like still stands in the pocket and takes the hit. Like, that's what they've already been saying, like, all this after the game ended. So can you imagine if he had to throw it that long? Like, there's no fucking way in hell he'd be getting blasted.
And sometimes he has to adjust. Sometimes he has to adjust to give himself more time, when he is in the pocket. James Durnow put up a point. He said the dude with the weakest arm has the best stats throwing deep. Yeah. Let's talk about Brock Purdy's stat line for the game. When I'll just pull it up, and he had some really nice
dink
numbers.
And dunker.
Yeah, the dink. I mean, last year he dinked and dunked somewhat, but I still saw that he had intermediate throws. Now, he didn't have deep throws last year, but he made plenty of intermediate throws. And I was like, for those that brought up dink and dunk or whatever, I always thought he was a little bit more than dink and dunk. But this year he's definitely added a few more dimensions to his game, which I think
when
is
you
awesome.
say dink and dunk, that reminds me of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh yeah,
like there was never a time that I watched. Yeah, we didn't see maybe the deepest throws from Purdy last season, but there was never a time I watched him last season and thought, oh, this kid doesn't have a strong enough arm to make it. Like, that never crossed my fucking mind. It was only till after the off season and then his surgery. Okay, how do we know how he's going to come back? We didn't. We didn't know nothing about this surgery, this injury, hardly any freaking info out there. So, I don't think it was out of the freaking ordinary for people to question, okay, is his arm going to be strong enough when he gets back? But never was it because, I thought his arm was weak last year, so I thought he was going to have a weak arm this year. Like, it was never that reason.
My biggest doubt going into the season was how's his arm going to look after that surgery and that injury. That was my biggest doubt. What do you think, Ryan, in general?
Well, when it comes to the dink and dunk, like the whole narrative there, my whole take on was he's not a dink and dunk passer. You got to give him more respect than that. It's just, if you're going to use him in all these short yardage stuff, it's like that's what he can do. So if you got to figure out how to increase the depth of his passes so he can give the offense a little more of a chance. Because no matter if he can throw 20 yards down the field, if you're not testing that continuously, they're not going to respect it, and they're just going to creep down on you and suffocate you. Like, you got a Jimmy G under the center, so you got to, with your play calling, you have to counteract that dink and dunk narrative essentially, and because all they're going to do is put another safety in the box in that situation. You got to threaten downfield.
And going into the game, actually, the Buccaneers were known for being a strong defense in terms of stopping the run. So I wasn't too surprised when they stifled, McCaffrey on certain plays. For the most part, he had 21 carries, 78 yards, and it was nice to see Mitchell get some carries for a change and look fast again. He ran some runs. He had some runs on the right side of the field, actually, towards McKivit's side, and I was like, okay, so we're not just running to Trent Williams' side. Actually running some good places to McKivit's side, and he had some room, and he had some he looked fast again, and he ran a 4.340 at the combine. But there were times where he looked slow, and so it was good to see Mitchell in the mix.
Like I said, he got six yards in average. He was in there for
Yeah.
4. He got 4 looks, but hey,
Yeah, his let me see. Let me pull up his exact numbers. Elijah Mitchell's 4 carries, 24 yards. TMC 21 carries, 78. Brock Purdy 4 rushes for 14 yards. I like it when Brock runs, to help us get a first down or whatever, or get away from the pass rush. I just want to see him slide. I really need to see the guy slide.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. Huh?
There's times though, because sometimes we really need that first down right then and there, and he knows it. So he's good on the situational awareness. You know what I mean? He knows when to slide and just give it another try on another down, and when we got to get this first down now because nothing's given. You know what I mean? He understands sense of urgency. So
let me go back to the other drive that happened in the game really quick. Just want to mention them. After we got that big Brandon Ayuk touchdown for 76 yards, we forced the Tampa Bay to punt, and we had a 79-yard drive at that point in time, and we capped it off with a Brock Purdy short pass to the back side of the end zone, on the left side of the end zone, for a Kittle touchdown pass for 3 yards. George Kittle. So that's nice to see Kittle get those red zone touchdowns again. Remember when Purdy stepped in last year and all of a sudden Kittle found his way to the red zone? That was nice. So good to see Purdy get his 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was thinking before the season, or hoping, that continued, that we, continued to see Kittle be used like actual, receiving threat and not just in there blocking all the time. Obviously, during the first half of the season, it didn't go maybe as according to what most of us thought, but these last couple of games, it seems like it's really picked it up. I think he's tied for targets. I saw John Chapman post something that Kittle, CMC, and Ayuk are all have the same amount of targets or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I love to see that, Kittle get used like that, because I feel like he's like, I guess in the NFL circle, like he don't get enough respect because he has to be in there blocking so much. And we know that he loves blocking. And obviously we know, this is a run first team most of the time. So that's what he used for. But I think like he could be used. Like he could have those big ass games that Kelsey and that we saw, Mark Andrews, like them have way more often if he would actually, Kyle.
Yeah, I was thinking Kelsey the whole time. Like Kelsey gets all this love, and when you mention Kelsey, some Niner fans they get all mad and said Kittle's the best tight end in the league. Don't say it's Kelsey. I'm like, I want to say it's Kittle. Trust me, but Kelsey gets all the damn production. Now I love it.
Imagine Kittle with Mahomes. Yeah,
exactly.
Of course, they would have to have that rapport, and we know, like Kelsey and Mahomes seems like they have such a great relationship on and off the field, so we can't say that Kittle would just walk in there and obviously have the exact production that Kelsey has, but man, he would be having a lot better numbers than what he has in San Francisco.
Yeah, but past few games has been looking pretty good. Let's go. So Purdy's passing numbers had himself an excellent day. But he's the 159 quarterback rating. I believe it's a perfect quarterback rating, and only 2 other Niner quarterbacks have done it: Montana and Steve Young, from what I was hearing.
Yeah,
some people were saying only Montana did it, and some people were saying both Montana and Young did it. So I don't know which one's right.
I saw that they did it in the same season, so I don't know if one came in and took over, or it was like 89 or.
Yeah,
I swear I remember them talking about Steve Young having a perfect pass rating at some point in time.
They mentioned Steve Young too,
back in the day, when he was playing. I remember somebody talking about that, but I'm not sure.
The picture I saw drew up whatever on Twitter. Yeah, it said like they both. And it showed the season, and it was that Super Bowl season. I want to say 89.
Is that right? In 88 and 89, Steve Young got on the field a lot. In 88 and 89, Steve Young got on the field a whole lot more than people thought. You go back and look at how many starts he had. Bill Walsh was trying to really insert him and make him. He was making a point to make him the quarterback, and Joe didn't like it, obviously. But so Purdy was 21 for 25, 3 yards, plenty of passes down the field, And this whole dink and dunk bullshit and noodle arm bullshit, it literally just bullshit. I mean, I think if Purdy was drafted, and I think Richard Sherman made a comment, right, that if Purdy was drafted in the first round or something like that, he'd be
overall. I think he said.
Yeah, he said he'd be in the MVP talks.
Yep.
But he says he's the last pick of the draft and he's barely 6'1", standing on cleats, and he just doesn't have a strong arm. People aren't going to give him the love that other quarterbacks get. Brandon Ayuk was go ahead.
Hold on. You got to understand that if they do that, if they give into that, they have to say that they were all wrong about him, and they're also wrong about what is a good quarterback, what is good quarterback material, NFL quarterback material. They have to, that admits that they're wrong, so they can't
own it. Say it. I was wrong. I was wrong. That's an impersonation. If you guys do not get it, if you know, you know. So
What's up, Randy?
Randy's here. Randy Daytona. Okay, cool. There he is. So Brandon Ayuk had himself a hell of a game. 5 receptions, 156 yards, 31.2 yards per catch, primarily because of that 76-yard touchdown. The Kittle was just excellent. 8 catches, 89 yards, 1 TD. Debo had himself a decent game, and he caught 3 passes, but each pass was pretty much pretty remarkable, pretty downfield.
So
getting a little bit. Go ahead.
He came out firing hot. Got two plays. Well, he got the run play that flopped. Then he got 2 pass plays where he did real well, and then he was a ghost the whole game until like the end of the 3rd quarter, I think it was, or maybe early 4th quarter. He was like non-existent the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, he had a few good plays here and there, but it wasn't like he was targeted much either.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just noticed that I didn't notice him.
We're talking about Debo, right?
Yeah.
Debo,
but then
again, there was a point where I had tweeted out and I'm like, what the hell's up with Debo? Like, did I miss like that he got hurt? Like I was thinking like I missed something, because I'm like, where the fuck is he? Like, I'm not complaining. Of course, we know BA's my guy, so I want to see him get all the targets, but like it was just really weird, like because there was like a whole long stretch that I didn't see Debo even out there on the field.
Yeah, but then again, having Debo out there does make a difference some way somehow because we lost those three games without him. So definitely would much rather have him on the field.
Defense has to pay attention to him. There's a lot of difference when it's no slight to them, but it's a difference when you're guarding Debo and all the stuff he can do, or you're guarding Jennings and those guys. Like it's a big difference. So of course,
and with Debo and CMC on the field too, it's like because we put Debo in the backfield sometimes, and I think that just gives, when they're both on the field and we're doing weird things like that, running CMC in the slot, it just kind of gives defenses and linebackers fits. And Debo had himself 3 catches for 63 yards, not bad. CMC 5 catches for 25 yards. Juwan Jennings had no catches actually. I don't know if he was even targeted. Do you guys remember that, if he was targeted or not?
I don't remember.
I don't recall either. And usually it's weird because last year, some way or another, especially on 3rd downs, Juwan Jennings was always in the mix.
Wait, did he? I think he might have, and he dropped it or something. It was incomplete, maybe.
I couldn't remember if that was this game.
I don't know if he got targeted this game. Well, who were you saying what's up to?
McNiner.
Oh, Dave McNiner. Cool. There he is. Let's definitely go. 49ers beat them Sea Turkeys. Yes, totally. We got to do that. On defense, though, it was cool. Warner got his 10 tackles. He had a half a sack, had himself a really, really nice game. Travis Ward was a lot better than I thought he'd be this game. I'm not sure who was the main guy guarding Mike Evans, but in general, whenever they threw towards Travis Ward's side, Mooney Ward's side, I didn't see him grabbing like I normally do, and I didn't see the flags being tossed, so that was good to see.
Well, they were definitely picking on him. And they know he's a weakness. They were picking on him. But one thing I did notice about him, his tackling was better this game. So I was happy to see that, especially the game that they're going to pick on him like that. He was getting picked on like Diamador Lenore last year.
Why is everybody always picking on me? That's an old song. Diamador Lenore actually dropped an interception on the sidelines early in the game. Not sure if you guys caught that. That was one of those like that. I'm sure you'd love to have
Greenlaw.
that one back. Greenlaw dropped one. Gift.
He looked that thing in like a pro wide receiver and dropped it. Oh,
Yeah,
guy.
that
Troll.
was
You see what the troll says about Jawan Jenkins? I don't know who that is, but
wait. The name is a troll. Where I don't see that.
Nick. He said the
Oh,
less
I
you
know it.
need Jawan Jenkins to come through, the better the Niners are doing in that particular game.
Jenkins. I was like, dang. Yeah, I like Jenkins a lot last year. Not that I don't like him as a player. Usually he's a pretty good blocker, but he was actually messing up on some blocks this year. And I like the guy. I just like to see him get
BA?
back.
Call him
And
Jenkins
he's not a
too.
fast guy, but he's not a fast guy when he catches the ball. But he would get some yak yards too. He'd find a way to make people miss and break tackles. So hopefully he gets involved some way somehow.
Brandon Ayuk won a big play by CMC called back from his holding play there in the first.
Well, say that again because your voice cut off at one point.
Sorry. So Brandon Ayuk got a holding penalty on CMC, really big play, which had it negated in the first. So like we got some of our normal 100% hitters out there that are kind of fumbling on some mistakes. You know what I mean?
Well, we had like 90 fucking penalties, so he definitely wasn't the only one.
Like,
Hey, what else is new? We always get
I
penalties.
know, like it was
We gotta
terrible.
fix that. I mean, we're gonna be playing. We're gonna play
We
the
had
Seahawks on. I mean,
we
play
had
the
7 penalties. They had 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
We're like the
Yeah.
Raiders when it comes to penalties. It's terrible. So
And you have like this team that the core's been together so long now. It's not like you have this young ass team that it's like, all old vets and, little young guys filled in. And it's like, yeah, our old guys are out there fucking making mistakes continuously.
yeah, we gotta be more
Penalties.
disciplined.
False starts, fucking like just stupid shit.
Penalties
Mhm.
lead to punts.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be playing the Eagles. We play the Eagles and we lose the penalty battle. Good chance for losing the game.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like so. Good thing was we did get to Baker. We got 4 sacks. Fred Warner had half a sack. Greenlaw had half a sack. Armstead had a sack. Bosa had a sack. At the end, Chase Young had a sack where he just went right around Tristan Wirfs. I'm not sure if you guys caught that.
Yeah.
And that I felt really good seeing that one.
Yeah, Baker
Yeah.
looked in distress most of the game. So that's exactly when I was picturing this game before it started, how I wanted it to go. I would have loved, obviously Bosa to get his ass down a couple more times, but the other guys helped in. So, but yeah, like when you get Baker like pissed off or he looks like he's gonna cry, he's on the sidelines throwing shit, like that's the Baker you want to have.
Randy, I got the box score pulled up, but we had 4 sacks and they sacked us 4 times. So we do need to fix our pass. I mean, see, that's the things like those back to Purdy. I mean, those who are just making excuses for Purdy and saying no. There's some Niner fans that are like, oh, Purdy doesn't do that great. Oh, everybody he throws to is wide open. And like the dumb things like that, like, oh, Shanahan just schemes them wide open, and they make it sound like I mentioned earlier, how they're like, oh, well, Purdy does good because the team's already ahead. Again, he's the reason why their team is ahead.
So
the refs aren't spotting us touchdowns and points to start the game.
So whether they're wide open or not, you have to have the timing and you have to have the ball thrown over the linebacker accurately enough. So
accuracy,
yeah, and you got to hit them on the run. That's the thing. And
all this
doing it.
All this when he's scrambling out of the pocket half the time because people can't hold on to their fucking block.
You know why our wide receivers or receivers really like him? Because the ball is always coming to them when they're getting out of their break. And when it's getting out of
good,
it's the best for them. It's the best for them. It's when they've got the biggest window. It's when they essentially are protected the most. They've got the most chances of, not just leaving themselves out there hung up to dry. So to them, they really appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, so whatever, if they like that. And like I said, he might not be able to do these Patrick Mahomes type throws and this and that, but if he sticks to the script and does what he's asked consistently and like perfect, like he does for the most part every time, you can win championships like that and with this talent that we got.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that his passes, like you mentioned, they're not only accurate, but he's hitting everybody in stride like damn near all the time. And this yak yardage, West Coast offense crap that we do, that that's like perfect. Like if you
Brandon
need somebody
Ayuk-
to hit them in stride.
Brandon Ayuk doesn't have 156 yards off of 5 receptions without hitting him in stride.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and
You
we
kn-
saw it before where Kittle would get the yak yards, but he's having to pull 16 people down the freaking field with him because, he's having to stop in his route. He's having to turn around. Then he's getting fucking hit. Right. Where now it's like he's getting to actually catch the ball and just continue running and might have to juke one guy. And it just seems like even he's taking like less hits. Like you heard like CMC talked about it, Ayuk talked about it, Kill talked about it all this week after the game, all talked about what a nice ball that Purdy throws and how it's perfect, and like how they were like, oh, did you know he had a perfect passer rating? And they're like, he always throws the ball perfect to us, regardless of what his freaking passer rating is, So, I mean, yeah, that it definitely helps for sure.
I have this pulled up. I'm not sure if you
Yeah.
guys can read it. Maybe people make their some. I'll read off the stats anyways from John Chapman. Shout out to John Chapman on Twitter, but I put this up because I wanted to read this for those stat junkies out there. Through 11 weeks, Brock Purdy is first in quarterback rating at 115.1, first in QBR at 77.1, first in completion percentage 70.2. This whole list that I'm looking at are all the stats that he's number one in, just to let you guys know. It says number one in touchdown percentage, whatever that is, but 6.5% there. Number one in passing success rate, 56.3. These are like more advanced metrics type stats. Number one in yards per attempt, 9.7. Number one in adjusted yards per attempt, 10.2. Number one in yards per completion, 13.8. Number one in net yards per attempt, 8.6. Number one in adjusted net yards per passing attempt, 9.05. Number one, I'm getting tired reading this. Number one passer rating under pressure. There you go. That's really good to know. Number one completion percentage under pressure. Very good to know. Number one yards per attempt under pressure. Under pressure. Doom, 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 doom. And number 5th in the NFL in big time throw rate. So that's good. So big time throws are like, I believe they rate it as like passes that are 20 yards or more. I'm not mistaken.
Those last 4 stats are the ones really I only care about, because that means what is the playoffs? It's pressure every down. You know what I'm saying? There's something they got going up against the best of the best. They've been playing together all year. They're tuned up. They're ready to rock. That gives me good. It's not like I'm crowning him. I'm just saying that just gives me good vibes, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
almost done. I'm almost done with the list. So number 6. Fewest interceptions thrown of players with 5 or more starts. Okay, there you go. Number 7, completion percentage. He's top 3 in completions of 20 plus air yards. There you go. And there's a picture of Purdy right there. I mean, that's very, very good to know. I mean, 11 weeks into the NFL season, he's at the tops in the league into most of the quarterback stats. Yet some people don't think he's that great or that good or whatever. I could care less of what they think at this point in time. Yeah, I mean, I've yet to watch a game where Brock Purdy plays where I get that, where I'm nervous and I have anxiety and I'm pissed and I'm like, oh, damn, he messed up, or damn, he made a bad mistake.
Puke, poop, and pee feeling.
Yeah.
That's what Jimmy plays.
When Jimmy was playing, I was getting all kinds of stress. Just like
pee.
Yeah, it was uneasy. I had this uneasy feeling watching the games. Now I can just sit back on the couch. I can prop my feet up. I can sip on some Gold Bar whiskey on the rocks, like Wayne Breezy says, and call it a day. Watch my Niners.
Yeah.
PPP.
Yes, sir. I got some defensive stats that I want to put up. It's a bit of a shorter list, but it's good to know. I just mentioned Wayne Breezy. Wayne Breezy is the guy who tweeted this. Shout out to him. The 49ers defensive rankings through week 11 of the NFL season. 5th in total defense in terms of giving up yards. So we give up the 5th least yards in the NFL at 302.8 yards per game. We are 15th in the league in terms of giving up passing yards, 221.4 yards per game. 3rd in the NFL in giving up rushing yards, 81.4 yards per game. We are number 1 in the NFL in giving up the least points, 15.7 per game. And tops in the leagues in interceptions, baby, 14, and 4-way tie for 2nd in takeaways. So yeah, we always win the turnover battle. Seeing what 49ers, Bills, and Broncos and Steelers. The Tampa Bay is really good at winning turnover battles, by the way, and we We definitely won the turnover battle in this past game. And Jair Brown, unfortunately, we lost Hufanga. Jair Brown is the spot duty. He got burnt and, did a few other good things afterwards. What do you guys think about Jair Brown playing this past game?
Well, I was kind of like confused when he blew it on that first play.
Was it Godwin?
I can't remember.
I think it was Godwin.
It led to a score, and I was like, man, I thought that guy was a winner. He really got himself out of position. And then he was lights out after that. He realized, man, I really screwed up. I need to buckle down. He saved 2 touchdowns. Essentially,
he was really nice in the red zone.
And then he got an interception. So yeah.
Who tipped the pass? It was one of those tip plays, but I'm so glad he had the awareness to come down with it, because so many times I watch these Niner games, and not necessarily this season, but in the past, where like balls are tipped and like I'll be yelling, catch that, like, and we don't catch it. But this year it's like we're catching those kind of tips.
Yeah.
Well, I think last year was kind of like that too. We were getting some of those last year too. Not as much as this year. It seems like people are, every game we got one that's tipped and somebody's falling to grab it or something, those guys are doing good out there.
Yeah.
Fred Warner's always around there. When the ball's tipped,
Warner's always the mix.
He's always around there somewhere, and he's usually catching it.
Yeah, he's got good hands for a linebacker. He needs
looking for the ball.
He needs to teach Dre Greenlaw a thing or two. Let me see what's up. The 49er dude says, let's go. Let's go. His theme music, well, him and I's theme music. He was the rapper on the song to start off the show. And I mentioned how the 49er Minded theme song that he's on is on Spotify now. So just let people know. And good to see you there in the chat, bro.
Yeah, Jair Brown. Well, first of all, I hate obviously that Hufanga got hurt. Like,
we all
sucks.
do.
And then, like especially on the play, the way that it happened, everybody's out there joking. Oh, he got his ankles broke, on that play because he got juked and shit. And then he really did fucking get hurt, so it sucks. So you never want to see, somebody get hurt. But the bright spot, obviously, I've been a huge Jair Brown fan since before we even drafted him. I wanted us to get him. Love the kid. And from all accounts, he's just been preparing in any possible way he can to be ready for this moment. So yeah, that first play, obviously he got caught flat-footed, and he got caught behind, shit happens. It's your first fucking play. You're coming in, taking over. Nerves. We don't know what the fuck's going through his head at that time. But what matters is that he didn't let that get in his head. That didn't have one single effect on him. And that's so important for, safeties and, DBs in general. And for, him to come in and just, bam, 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 like make all those freaking plays. Like I felt like a fucking proud mom at the end of that game. Like for Brandon Ayuk to have the game that he had, and for Jair Brown to come in and close out the game he did, like I was like had a little tear dropping out of my eye.
Like you were calling, they're picking a safety in the draft, and they move up to get Jair Brown. So I see your mama bear over here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll say this as far as the other safety goes, Tyshawn Gibson, he hasn't been talked about enough.
No,
his like advanced stats and advanced stat metrics in terms of coverage are off the charts this year. I don't have them in front of me, but in general, whenever I watch the game, he's just always around the ball. He's always making plays. He doesn't necessarily make the big play all the time, but if you focus on him, you'll know he's always doing his job. You can never ever find a moment where you're complaining about Tyshawn Gibson. And the fact that we got him towards the end of training camp last year, out of nowhere, we got this guy on a cheapo deal, and he's just been balling for us. So I'm thankful that we have him. Yeah. Love Hufanga. Hopefully he recovers, but we should be thankful that looks like Jair Brown should be a pretty damn good replacement for Hufanga. I mean, to have that short memory after when he got burnt out there, when I saw him out there, and I didn't know Hufanga was hurt actually, which I was just like, I saw Hufanga get burnt, and me and my friend were kind of laughing for a second because we were like, "Damn, no wonder why." That's why he doesn't. That's why we don't really see him on the field because of that. We kind of joked and laughed about it. But then again, right, like you said, though, after that, he just stepped up and balled out. And what more can you ask for, man? Really good to see him. Randy Daytona says, "Who Gibson is Papa Smurf out there?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. There you go. Lo
Yeah.
Jackson, what's up, Lo? Good to see you. Says Jair Brown
Also-
going to ball out.
I'd like to point out that if he's playing the top of his game, everybody underneath him can take a little bit more risk, knowing that he's fucking got it. You know what I mean? Like, so that might be why we're seeing a little more from other people, because they're able to take a risk now, knowing that he's got everything locked.
So me ask, who's that cutie? Who's that lady? Who's that
his name's
lady?
Ryan.
His name's Ryan.
I'm not the cutie.
I wasn't gonna throw the. We talked a whole lot about this Bucks game. Let's talk a little bit about this upcoming game in Seattle. Thank you, LA Rams, for winning one for us. We appreciate you.
I almost thought they were gonna let us down.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, these fucking Rams can't do shit right, and then they actually came through.
I caught the tail end. I always tell my friends, like, nobody ever wins games for us. We have to win. We have to beat these teams on our own. But no teams in the NFL do us favors like, oh, well, let's watch this game because so-and-so has to beat this team to help us in our division or help us in the wild card or whatever, help us with our overall standings and home field advantage. And it seems like nobody beats any team for us. But finally,
like the Chiefs letting us down with the Eagles. They couldn't beat them. Like,
who dropped that deep pass with that Scantling guy? What's his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Valdez Scantling.
Did that throw not remind you of the Super Bowl? The ones the
was
Jimmy
an
overthrow?
even better one. Shit. That wasn't an overthrow. That ball was freaking. He should have caught that. That hit him right in the fucking hands. It should have been a touchdown. That wasn't no fucking overthrow.
I got a tweet from a Seahawks fan.
You got a tweet from a Seahawks fan?
Yes. Well, I replied. I seen it and I replied to it. His reply was his tweet was, I said before the Rams game, the most Seahawk thing ever would be to lose to the Rams than beat the Niners. Maybe it happens, and Hufanga being out for San Francisco makes it more likely. And I replied with, his backup got an INT and interception and saved two touchdown passes. Yeah, totally in the clear.
Chris Osorno says, I love Hufanga. He's one of our interception leaders, but Niners thankfully have depth at defense. We're lucky that we drafted that guy now. I had no idea that Hufanga was going to get hurt like that. And
it's all because Mariah said they took her advice.
Right. Bitches better listen.
Bitch better recognize. Real Teal says, facts the Chiefs sold.
One of the best moves in the draft right now.
Yeah, I wish they would have gotten my tackle, though. I'm not going to say his name, but the tackle I wanted, that would have been nicer. But I'm still pretty ecstatic on the opposite side of the ball that we got Chase Young, though.
It would have been nice, but right now, like, to have a guy to fill in for or for Hufanga and to be able to make up for his input, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's and I know it's only been one game, but they obviously know this guy's cooking. And I think on the depth chart, he was supposed to Jair Brown was supposed to be the backup for Gibson, and Odom was a backup for Hufanga. So I think that at some point in time, they were like, no matter who goes down, Jair Brown's the next one up. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. He's the next guy in. Because there's the talent there. They're like, we can't deny that because we want to just say, oh, yeah, you're a free safety. Because we don't really do that. We don't really have a free safety. We don't have a strong safety. We've got where we're moving people in that formation at that point in time. It's they just mix and match. You know what I mean? Whatever the call is, you're moving to that spot. Yeah. That's all it is.
There you go. So like the Rams and Seahawks, it was 17-16. The game was down to the wire. Geno Smith got hurt. He hurt his elbow in the game. Not sure how healthy he's going to be going into this game, but he was 22 for 34, 233 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. On the Drew Lock did go in there in relief, but he threw a pick. That was pretty funny. Matthew Stafford coming back from injury, 17 for 31, 190, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
They also lost Kenneth Walker.
Running back. Yeah. Yep, saw that. And the
And I
Rams
saw that
had
their number one special teams player tore his ACL as well.
Oh,
And I guess he
no.
had been leading in like the special teams, like tackles and like all that shit. So he was having a great
if
season.
anybody knows his name, drop it in the chat.
I think I
yeah,
don't
saved
know.
it. Let me see.
I don't know if
DK
you watched
Metcalf. Go ahead.
the game last night, but they got a nickel over there in Kansas City who is fucking awesome.
I only watched the very, very end of that game. So
I can't remember. I think his number's like 22 or 25. He's a nickel. He's like the best nickel in the league right now because he is just freaking all. He was the leading tackler on their team, not last night, but the game the week previous.
okay.
I wish we could have got that guy.
Yeah, there's a
Holy
lot of players I
moly.
wish we could have gotten. Real Teal says, go ahead.
His name's Jarek Reed.
Okay, the guy got hurt. There you go.
Rookie and special teams standout. Jarek Reed tore his ACL and is out for the season. Through week 11, Reed was third in the NFL in special teams tackles.
Damn. Real Teal says we need to go into the playoffs ahead of Philly. I hate to say it, but going into Philly in the playoffs when the game will come down to a field goal, Moody would cost us the game. I know we just got to play better than having a wind down to a field goal. Assuming that Philly never loses. It's like they play these close games and all these things that should go against them happen to work in their favor, and it just sucks seeing them have such a great record. It pisses me off, and I hate that stupid quarterback sneak crap that they do where they all line up behind Jalen Hurts and push him or whatever. I don't know. That I knew they had a name for it, but I forgot what it was.
So their key to success there is they just get on all fours and bear crawl. So the only way
I know what that is. Yeah.
So the only way to really beat that, so the first 3-4 guys, they get on all fours and they bear crawl forward, and then everybody else kind of piles on behind and covers Jalen Hurts or the quarterback who is right on
riding him on him.
Right up on him, and then everybody else comes behind and just kind of puts their shoulders into their back of their thighs, and you just move a whole mass forward. So the only thing I can think of is that you got to get, instead of being down, they're going to be on their down on their arms. You get down on your forearms, right? And then you just shoot in, your front line just shoots in to try and stop their thighs, because if they can't churn their thighs, they can't move the front forward. And then you get everybody behind you to start pushing on you and going over the top at the same time. That's the only way I can think to stop it. You got to get
find
lower.
a way to stop it if we play.
You got to get lower. You got to get lower. And the only way I think we could do it is by getting on our forearms, because I know it sounds funny, but it's gonna make you lower. You got to figure out how to get on your, maybe you start on your forearms and then you kind of rock forward onto your fists as you're keeping the same level. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can think of. You got to figure out some way to.
Yeah, somebody's got to figure it out. Hopefully we do before it's not too late. Maybe it won't come down to, maybe we'll just kick their ass by 2 touchdowns and those little 1-yard plays won't even matter. Real Teal said it best. I hate Philly and I hate the tush push. I'm with you on that. He said, I hate their fans and their head coach too. I don't know who I hate more, the Philly fans or Nick Sirianni. What about you guys?
Their
head coach is very fucking punchable. He has a very punchable face.
It's the most punchable face you've ever seen. Remember, was it last year in the playoffs? He was on the sidelines and he went up to the camera. Was like,
yeah,
he made some stupid gesture or whatever. Like,
I cannot stand that guy. Unfortunately, a lot of my family are Philly fans. So
are they?
I can't,
Oh, man.
Oh.
Well, talk about you guys when we beat them.
Did you guys hear what Bosa was saying to Baker Mayfield on the sideline there?
No, what did he say?
Oh, you don't remember Baker Mayfield going over and complaining to a ref, and then Bosa like coming up and talking to him?
Bosa told him it wasn't illegal, that he was in the pocket.
Yeah, you can't. It's not illegal to do a horse collar in the pocket. I thought that was so awesome. Such an extra like little burn on the side. Hey Baker, it's not a penalty to do a horse collar in the pocket, like bud.
You know what? He had that
all
podcast.
Out of shape, man.
He had that podcast with Eric Armstead. I only sat and watched like a few minutes of it, But the whole time it's that same Bosa voice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been playing.
Well, that's his
football
voice.
since
What do you want him to
2007.
make a new
I
voice?
don't know. It's like the
It's the
weakest.
same Bosa voice.
it's
Well,
the
yeah, of
weakest-
course. It's
Hey,
It's the
hello
weakest-
guys. This is Bosa Podcast Voice here.
It's the weakest voice I've ever heard for a pro athlete. I'm talking all pro athletes, not
Go
just a
and tell
football
him to his
player.
face.
I know. I might as well, huh?
See what he has to say. about
Bosa,
it.
your voice sucks. I know.
So he can
we should-
pound you
That-
into the ground.
That guy
Go.
daydreams about getting around the corner on left tackles. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he's daydreaming about. He's like,
I'm surprised there's no
sitting there
NFL films
chilling.
clip. Why isn't there some NFL films clip after his sack where he's like pumped up, like, fuck yeah, let's go? Speaking of which, I saw a video of Fred Warner cussing his ass off last time we were in Seattle. Did you guys see that video? If I have it on my Twitter, I'll play it here. I think it's from my Instagram, but I'm going through my Twitter feed right now. Oh, I do have it. I gotta let you guys. I couldn't believe my ears when I watched this video. Let me play this video for you guys. It's too funny. Share tab audio. Here we
Dropping
go.
F-bombs.
You'll see. And make this on full screen and lights.
I love this guy.
Hey, tonight, remember this. We hate these boys. We hate these motherfuckers. Come out and smoke these boys from the first whistle. The first fucking whistle. One game, 60 minutes. All you got. I fucking love y'all boys, man. I love y'all with all my heart. Let's go beat that boy ass.
Yes.
I'm a bigger fan of Fred Warner now than I ever was after seeing that video. I mean, I was lucky enough to meet the guy. He's the nicest person in real life too. He's so friendly.
Yep.
And just to see that and see how fired up he was, like, I want to see Bosa do that one of these days. I don't know, man. Will it ever happen? Who knows?
You know why he's so friendly? Because he gets to take all his aggression out on those poor bastards he plays against. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is happy.
Friendly because he's the best in the world. He's a millionaire. He has a hot wife.
There you go.
He
got
plays
it
for
all.
the 49ers.
He has the
just
best
needs to win the
fans.
Super Bowl now. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Real Teal says Sirianni acts like a complete toddler and somehow is an NFL coach. Yeah, exactly. Had an NFL head coach. I don't know how.
Like he's over there, like when they would throw a flag and like they had got it like a first down or something from the flag. Like he's over there celebrating and doing arm signals and like all kinds of shit. It's like calm the fuck down.
He's
like
hella
keep your fucking
annoying.
head in your play sheet, buddy.
He's the type of guy that you find out like 10 years later, he just stole somebody's playbook and used it. You know what I mean? Like,
Throwback.
Speaking of being on the sidelines, I didn't notice. Maybe I missed it. Didn't notice it so much as I watched the game at a sports bar. But I did catch some of the replay. Didn't watch the whole replay of the game. But I didn't see. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I didn't see them focus on Steve Wilkes on the sidelines. I didn't see him celebrate or talk to players, or I didn't notice that they even panned to him. Did you guys notice that at all? If they showed sideline Steve? Yeah,
but
they didn't do it this time.
I had to watch the condensed version.
Yeah, the condensed version only shows the plays, and that's it. It's not going to show all the other stuff. Yeah. Right. Nicholas Akalatis, who's a Browns fan, says Myles Garrett's voice is pretty cool. Okay. There you go. You mentioned throwback. He's here. Okay,
chin, buddy.
Clean what?
I said, go clean your chin, buddy.
Oh, who? Myles Garrett?
No, Nick.
Oh, Nick. How about that's a new one. I'm behind when it comes to these nasty expressions. What can I say? I'm a goody two shoes. 49ers Throwback says, make sure to hit the button, faithful, the like button. Thank you, Throwback. Check out 49ers Throwbacks Twitter page. It's got tons of 49ers highlights from back in the day, the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, whatever. Yeah. It's a really, really cool Twitter page. I highly suggest it. And she says, Regis says, listen to me. Freddy Krueger is afraid of Freddie Warner. Yeah, I think he might be. When Freddie's cussing like that and he's all fired up. Steve-O says, who was giggling during that speech? I think we all were.
Fred Warner reminds me of like Predator.
Yeah, Chase Young's they call Chase Young the Predator too, though.
No, but
both got that hair.
About it, like, well, kind of, but I mean, like, he's all like Fred Warner's all around the field. Like, you're kind of at his mercy when you're out there and you're wearing a different jersey. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty kind of close to me. I feel, so.
So, but to wrap it up, I appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys have been awesome. Some people just showed up now, but we didn't drop our score predictions yet. I didn't think this one out. But let me you guys, if you guys want to go first, I'll go at the end. You guys already have any predictions in mind? If people want to drop,
I don't have mine yet, but let me
okay. It's if anybody wants to drop the score prediction in the chat, feel free to. And yeah, so let's see.
I do hope that we can really make them pay for the last time we played them on Thanksgiving. Because that picture, like, as much as I love Richard Sherman now, I hated him for that moment because that still just plays in my mind. Like, regardless, like, we haven't played on Thanksgiving for how long, right? But still, every time it gets close to Thanksgiving, or every time we had to play the Seahawks, regardless when it is, like, that plays in my head. Richard Sherman and them eating that fucking big nasty turkey leg on the fucking 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Fucking turkey falling everywhere, like fucking slobs. So I really hope that this year we can just make them fucking pay, because it just would be the perfect payback to be able to, the game's there. So we can, be able to eat turkey on their 50-yard line and ruin fucking Thanksgiving for their fans for the next fucking 20 years.
Let's do it.
So,
Brian, did you have any thoughts about going to the game since you're over in the Seattle area or Washington State?
I guess the tickets cost so much for these damn games, like over here, that it's just, I wasn't worried about it. Thought about going down to do the whole what do you call it, the drinking in the parking lot thing, but I'm not gonna go down there and get all rained on and all that good stuff. I'd rather just stay here. But what I was saying to Mariah's point there about the turkey on the field, it's almost like Highlander. You remember the movie Highlander? How you'd off one's foe and then you'd consume their soul, their energy and whatnot, and you become more powerful, and then you go on. So when they ate our turkey on our field, I feel like it was kind of them cutting our heads off and absorbing our power and going on. So to me, we need to win this game to eat their turkey, get our and their soul back, and go on to get a Super Bowl. I think that's our, you know what I mean? So that's Highlander, you know what I mean? Got to get raised up, and the lightning's got to come and whatnot. So I think that's what this game is. Highlander.
Game, recognized game. And the Seahawks, statistically, they only put up 21.6 points a game. They actually give up more points than they actually score. They give up 22 points a game. So
yeah, I think they're like a -2 point differential, and we're still somehow, at the time that I read that, 6-3 or whatever the fuck they were. It's like, how is that even possible? Score prediction, I'm going 31-13, obviously 49ers.
31-13 Niners for Mariah. Chalk it up. Okay, with that said, I see us definitely hitting. I say I'll take 34 points. How about that? 34 points. I'm gonna do I'll do 13 for Seattle. 34-13 on that one. Let's go Niners.
Love it.
You,
this is so hard to judge because this could be a 50 burger. This could be a 50 burger if Drew Lock is out there.
That would feel so fucking good. Oh my god! Could you imagine?
That would be 50, so. I want to
blow them on Thanksgiving.
I want to blow out. How about those fans? Like, have you noticed some fans like, oh, I hate blowouts. They're boring. Like, dude, give me a blowout. I don't want to watch a game where we only win by 5 points.
I hate the PPP feeling. I want to be having a blowout.
Nicholas Akalati says I'm picking Seahawks. Oh, he's picking Seahawks 24-17.
Ryan, what's your score prediction?
Are you trolling us again? He said something earlier about your Myles Garrett comment. He says gotta keep Myles happy. There you go.
I'm going 27-17.
27-17. Okay, there you go. Oh, okay. Red Jet going wild with this one. 55-10, like the Broncos Super Bowl. That's a big Steve-O, 158-3. Some crazy point differentials right there. Yeah, but I do want to blow out though. Definitely want to blow out.
It could be.
Anything going on you guys' channels that you guys want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Yeah. Go ahead, Mara.
Go ahead.
All right, I got rivalry with Joe Stevens tomorrow, and then I got Corey Davis's pick'ems after that. So 6:00 on Joe Stevens Seahawk Talk, where we break down the game. And then we got Corey Davis pick'ems at 8 or 7, and then stream Thursday Night Football with Corey. And then I got the Friday night show. So check the community tab. I'll let you know where the Friday night show is.
It's Friday night. How about you, Mariah?
The only thing this week is tomorrow at 2 Pacific time. Me, TL, and Steph Sanchez will be doing a show together. Since Thursday is Thanksgiving, me and game day, me and Steph are moving our show to kind of join the Two Goat Show and 49 Faithfully all together. So 2 Pacific time, myself, Steph, and TL tomorrow. Stop by.
49er Faithfully ride with me.
And if I don't, talk to everybody that's in the chat before then, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday.
Thank you. And do not drink and drive. Call an Uber, call a friend, do whatever you got to do. Do not drink and drive. So,
yes.
49er dudes, since what I noticed about our DBs is they are athletic, which makes them interchangeable. Definitely our safeties too. We interchange our safeties a whole lot. And we run guys who play on the outside and play them at nickel, and totally see what you're saying with that. Don Dawson says 35-10 Niners. Cool. Brian Cope said 49-3. Tony Cope, his wife, says 31-21. Okay.
Hey, Tony.
What's up, Tony? Check out Tony on YouTube. She's got a channel too. They do a Ladies of the Empire. So James Jernal said, my wife loves blowouts. I stopped shouting at the TV at 3 a.m. He lives in the UK, so he's watching the games at pretty odd hours. So it's very rare that I shout at the TV. Usually if I shout or I'm saying something really loud during the games, it's when we score a big touchdown. I'll be like, Kittle, or Ayuk, or if there's a big sack, Bosa, Chase Young, or
I yell whether we're doing good or doing bad. So
okay, there you go. Okay.
My wife hates it.
Hope everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Chat was awesome. You guys are off the chain. Welcome all the new viewers. For those of you guys who are not subscribed to Mariah's channel, 49 Faithfully Podcast, it's in the description box of this video. You can hit up that link. You can hit up Ryan on No Border Sports. Follow his YouTube channel. Subscribe. No Border Sports. It's in the description box of this video as well. Thank you guys for watching. What's up?
Mine.
It's Mariah.
So Mariah hosts next week.
God, I'm usually good with this.
Yep. So make sure you subscribe to all 3 channels because we rotate every week.
Yeah. Tuesday, 6 p.m. every week. It's a rotational podcast. So it'll either be on Mariah's channel, No Border Sports, Ryan's channel, could be on mine. Just week after week, we rotate. Thank you guys for watching the Bring the Heat podcast on the 49er Minded channel this week. And thank you. God bless you too. Real to you. God bless everybody out there. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Thank you for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Keep repping them Niners. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go. Let's beat them Seahawks, Seafucks, whatever you want to call them. Go Niners. Peace.
I see.
Come on, 49er fans. Let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
Gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.